Yeah, just fun locker room. We're not playing for a national championship. We're not bowl eligible, and super proud that our guys attacked the bye and this week the way that they did, and we're having a lot of fun in that locker room. It's fun to sing the school fight song. It's fun to put a plan together when maybe everybody on the outside thinks everything is over, and to play. And to play well, right? Far from perfect, but yeah, so super proud and thankful that we got the victory. Yeah, it was when the third down became a 4th and 5, that was a little bit far for me. We have a call, where I'm talking to Coach Pike, and I'll tell him when it's a sequence where if it gets close enough on 4th down, that we'll be going for it. And that last drive, we weren't running the ball great, right? I mean, they're blitzing gaps and getting through. So 4th and 5 was too far for us at that point. Yeah, so you're always thinking about those things, but we're going to kick the field goal and let our defense play. Obviously we did not execute our kickoff. And so that made things super dicey, but trust Rudy, and going up by 7 is a lot different than being up, 3. So it worked out this time. He's done that this season. I can't remember if we talked about this or not, but he was awarded a scholarship here, during the season as well. So he's an awesome story. He's a great young man, and walked onto the team and had very, very little high school, experience with football, and has just taken off. And then this year has just, really taken off. So really, really proud of him. He had some monster plays. Yeah, no, I thought, and we'll have to watch the film and do all that, but it wasn't a missed tackle game. We did what we called a deep dive with the bye week. We talked about that, I think, on Monday, and squeezing was 68% of our missed tackles had been, with the finish on the squeeze. And so talked about that a ton this week. And there was a couple of times where we hit people and didn't bring them down, but otherwise, I thought we did a pretty good job at that. But it was, the plan this week. They do so many things. They had so many different personnel groups. We didn't know which quarterback was going to play. So, our plan was smaller. It was about executing the plan. It wasn't about, tricking them and putting a ton on our guys. We just really wanted them to play. And, I think they settled and played pretty well throughout. Yes. I mean, we call it Colorado, and he was in under route. Had a dig outside of him, and so I believe we caught him in man, and so he was able to. He's fast, he was underneath, and he crossed the formation, was running away from the guy. It looked like it was a really good ball and good catch, and had a chance. I mean, it was a shoestring away from, not only getting the first down, but maybe even scoring on that. Huge play in the game, and I think that was his next catch following the touchdown, where he didn't catch the ball in the end zone, right? I mean, he caught the ball outside the end zone. Hard to see where I was, but broke a couple tackles to score. So just two monster plays. Yeah, really, really proud. It was just a group project, right? You mentioned Rudy kicking the field goal and weren't great on the kickoff. So it was offense, defense, and special teams all the way through. And I told the guys, in the locker room, it's always the case, but it's everybody, it's guys who didn't put pads on. It's coaches that, and support staff. When you win, it's everybody, gets credit for all the work, that they put into this. And then for Ron, he's a pass rush specialist, recruited him out of a California junior college. He's from Cleveland. He's a great human being. Just had to fight through some transcript issues in the summer, and is just a perfect fit for our program, and couldn't have come at a better time for him to get that sack. I mean, he's special. He's healthy again. In the beginning of the year, he was so explosive, and he's been good throughout. But He's back this last week. We thought in practice that he was back to the like, wow, Dante, and you saw some of that today. He ran really hard. I thought Tavi, ran the ball really well. And it's always credit to the O-line and, to the tight ends that are making that possible. So we in the deep dive we talked about on Monday, it was when we were inefficient in our run game, it was not schematic and it was not mental errors, it was physical errors. And so, offensively, we talked a lot about, the physical, and not just the physicality, but, physically doing the right things at a high level. And so it's never perfect, but proud of the guys.
I think.
Yeah.
Like put a lot into this game. It was like 2 weeks.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah. And like I said, it's fun to win. And I would say it's when we play well and win. I've been doing this for a while. I've won games where, you don't necessarily play well, and I don't get a whole lot of joy or satisfaction out of that. And people always say, you got it, move on to the next one. And I've just being honest, it's never done it for me. Down the road, you're glad that you got a W versus an L, but like, I want to play our best football in November, and there's integrity that goes with that. We said we were going to do that from the very beginning. And, even though, it's not sunshine and rainbows and, bowl games and championships and all that, just really proud of how the guys played today. And I expect us to keep getting better, as we finish.
I feel like in the first half, with the exception of, one or two drives, I felt like we were executing. We got to halftime and we looked at the things we were doing well and what we did in those drives. And, all the coaches and all the whole defense came together and we're like, dude, we can shut these guys down, because that's really what was working for them. So we got to the second half. We know what we're capable of, and it was good to see the fruits of our labor come to existence, I guess. Yeah, 100%. And they got us on those three there at the end of the first half. One of them was, something that we work, but the receiver kind of caught us off guard there for a second with a crack. And then I can, credit one of those as my fault. So I want to say that was on me for one of them. And but we knew what we were capable of. So it's like we know that we can be assertive, assert our dominance in a sense. And it was just really good to see that, happen and not just be for a quarter of the game. And although it happened for a second, we responded and able to win the game and shut them down in the second half. Yeah, it's just like all love. Everyone works so hard, the whole team. And we've all been in it together through, thick and thin. Whatever adversity strikes, we're not gonna fold. They say bend, don't break. We don't even really want to bend much at all. We know what we can do. So yeah, it was just a sense of relief in a sense that you got a guy that like that lives for those situations. Granted, everyone on the field lives for that, but the guy that executes it is like, man, that is our teammate, that is our brother. So it was really cool. I was really happy for him. Yeah. So 100% my best performance. I was battling with a knee injury last year. Got surgery through October last year. I had to repair like 4 things in my knee. And it was frustrating in a sense to get to the beginning of the year, expecting to feel like yourself again. And that kind of not happening. Don't have like 100% strength in my leg. I'm not running as fast, because I know I can fly around the field, clean up stuff like you're saying. Beginning of the year, trying to fly around and that stuff's breaking. So I wasn't really there to clean it up. So it was definitely frustrating, definitely disappointment in myself. But like I said, coaches don't give up on you. Your teammates don't give up on you. So it's really easy to keep going. And yeah, it was the most fun I've had all year in a long time, just to see okay, I can bounce back from this injury. That injury doesn't define me. Never defined me in the first place. I always say I'm a big believer in all glory to God. He's got a plan for me, but it is frustrating when he gives you this talent and you're not able to execute how you can. So I was just really happy to be out there. It's the most fun I've had. Oh yeah, so we were in a kind of prevent. Um, I'm not going to say the name of the call, but we're putting guys deep back there, so we can trail the other guys. The guys split out, we can trail them, and then I was left in the box, responsible for cleaning things up. If it's like a 6-man protection there, I can add on. I wanted to make sure that the back didn't leak out or anything. And Ron, he just made a great play. Didn't give up. It's tough too. You're rushing 3, you know what I mean? And you got 6 guys in there, including the back. And it comes down to whoever wants it more. And in that moment, he wanted it more. He wanted us to get us that win and seal it. Yeah. So it's funny you say that. We actually, this past week, Coach Creighton challenged us for our whys. And, I wrote out something really long. It was like 3 pages in a note, my notepad. I'm not going to say the whole thing, obviously, but what up, brother? I said that my why was forging adversity was part of it. And it's that whatever adversity comes my way, it's not that I'm going to be perfect, but it's the battle of, that imperfection, cleaning it up as much as I can. And then a big part of it came back to playing for my family, my friends, my teammates, and most importantly, it was Almighty God. And that was kind of my why. I also mentioned that for those who stand with me and those who have no one to stand with them. So it's like I come from a small town, and I just want to be an example for all those guys. We have like one stoplight in our town. It's a small town called Dillsbury, Pennsylvania. The only reason that there's a lot going on though is because there's like a highway that goes right through it. So it's like one of those towns just right off the highway. And I just want to always remember where I came from. And success is measured in a lot of different ways. And with family, being a husband, being a father, but there's also success, I guess, in your work. There's a worldly success, I guess, but for me, it was passion and love for the game. Knowing what I can do, like that keeps me going, and knowing that people haven't counted me out, that they keep sticking with me. Like I don't want to let them down. So yeah.
No, so basically it's inside zone. So when I pressed it a little bit and I don't know what happened, I just reacted. And so, you know what I'm saying? So I just bounced it to the outside, and then after that I just made the play. So it's just everything's so instinctive. So, I just feel like, I don't know if this don't answer your question, but I just feel like on the offense, just in general, like I just feel like we all make plays that's gonna help us. And so I just feel like when I see other cats on the field making plays, that makes me want to do more. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna motivate me to do more. So honestly, for Dever to make that catch and that run he made, that set the tone for everything. That's how I feel like that's how we win the game. So yeah. Honestly, that was like a great moment. And I felt like when I see the defense make those plays, like they played together. And that's why I feel like just overall we all played together. And that's why I feel like we made a great team win. And I'm proud of the defense for doing their thing, just stopping the run and just coveraging, everything doing good, So yeah. Honestly, yes, because I was kind of banged up a little bit, I got a little problem with my ankles, but I just feel like just the first day of practice, like I was running good and I felt good. And so I just feel like I continue just to keep on making sure that my body's gonna be at its peak at the next level, So yeah. Honestly, I feel like because me and the team, all of us talk, and I feel like we're not gonna let just the record just be who we are, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's all about how we finish. And I feel like we're gonna finish great for these next 2 weeks. And so that's what I can say.